My message today goes to those parents who turn their backs on their children, who neglect their children, who torment innocent children because of their failed marriage, because of their failed relationship. You had a failed relationship. You had a failed marriage. Your marriage did not work out. It's not the fault of that child. Do not take out your pains on an innocent child. Because your relationship does not work out with a child's father, because your relationship or your marriage did not work out with a child's mother, that does not make you hate that child. That is not the reason why you should take out your pains, your frustration on a child for the rest of their lives. So many children are out there today suffering for the mistakes their parents made. Some children are suffering for the mistakes, for the wrong choices their parents made. As a young lady, you blindly made a choice. You chose a man ignorantly. A man chose a lady ignorantly, without thinking of the future, without putting some certain things into consideration. If this person is right for me, if this person is a good person, if this person can be a good father to my children, if this person can be a good mother to my children, you never put anything into consideration. You fell in love blindly. You were blindly in love. You made the wrong choices in life. And when that relationship did not work out, when the marriage failed, any child that is the result of that marriage, any child that was born into that relationship, you will want this child to bear the pains of your wrong decisions. No. If your relationship fails, if your marriage fails, it's not the responsibility of any child. A child born into this world, the child you decide to give birth to, should be your responsibility. The child never asked to be born. You chose to give birth. You chose to get pregnant. You chose to put a woman in a family way. That makes you responsible for that child. When your relationship fails, do not blame any child for the failure of your relationship or your marriage. So many children are out there today suffering bitterly, being neglected, their parents have turned their back on them. Some of them has even been stigmatized with what they know nothing about. Why? Because their parents are pained. Because the mother or the father are in so much pain and disappointment because the marriage or the relationship that produced this child or these children did not work out the way they wanted. Their excuse will be, each time I see you, you remind me of your father. Each time I see you, you remind me of your mother. So what? So what, ladies and gentlemen? So what if this child reminds you of that relationship that did not work out? So what if this child reminds you of the man who hurts you, who treated you badly? So what if this child reminds you of the woman that was not loyal to you? Why must you take out your anger, your aggression, your disappointment on an innocent child? Every child deserves to be loved. Every child deserves to be taken care of. Do not turn your back on a child you brought into this world. The child never asked to be born. Don't torment your child emotionally because of your own mistakes. Every child deserves parental love. There are some children that wish every time that someone else had given back to them. Why? Their own parents hate them, treat them with so much resentment. When this child asks, what have I done wrong? You look too much like your father. That would be the response. You look too much like your mother. What is the child's crime? This child never asks to look like anybody. When a child is born, they will either take after their mother, or take after their father, or take after any relative in the family. So what is the crime of a child? Why should a child be tormented all their lives? Learn to take responsibilities for your action. That is the only way you will learn. That is the way you will heal from the mistakes you made. When you take responsibility for the actions, for the wrong choices you made in life, you will be able to prevent it next time. You will be able to avoid any mistakes repeating itself. But instead of taking responsibility for your actions, instead of realizing that you made wrong choices and learn and try to correct it next time, you will rather push it to someone. Try to feel good by hurting someone else. Are you a child out there suffering from the mistakes of your parents? That your parents made terrible choices, but they do not want to hold up to their choice and mistakes. Rather, they will want to torment you for the rest of your life, insult you, look at you, coconut head, you useless child. Nothing you do ever please these parents. Nothing you will ever do will ever be good in the eyes of these parents. Why? They despise you. Why were you born at the time you were born? If you were not born, there would have been nothing to remind me of that relationship. Hey, that child never submitted an invitation letter. That child never submitted a CV to you in order to be born. It was your choice, man. It was your choice, woman. Therefore, hold on to your responsibility. It's your mistake. It's your fault. Forgive yourself so you can love the child you brought into this world. Do not torment your child because your relationship did not work. Love your child. Love your children. These are the gain you got from that relationship. Don't see it as a curse. See it as a blessing. This relationship or marriage did not turn out the way you expected. Yes, everything worked together for your good. Try to see the positive side of life. So many people will give anything to have their own children. So many people will do anything to be called a mother or a father. And you are freely called a mother. You have the privilege to be called a mother or a father by a child. Why will you hurt this child emotionally? Why will you torment this child mentally? Why will you destroy this child emotionally? Why will you despise your child? Why will you call your child names? Abandon them. Use them to turn to filthy rags. Allow other people treat them wrongly because you are angry with either their mother or their father. It's wrong. Because remember, every child you bring into this world, you will give account to God what you did with that child or with those children. If you are not ready to love, if you don't know how to be soft, if you don't know how to love, do not bring children into this world. If you are not ready to forgive, if you are not ready to learn and to teach, do not bring children into this world, because children are responsibility. They deserve to be loved. Every child wants to be loved. Whether your relationship work out or it doesn't work out, it didn't work out the way you wanted. Thank God for it. Something better will come out of it. Who knows if it's this child that will put a smile on your face tomorrow? Who knows if it's this child that will make you proud tomorrow? But when you use the rest of this child's life, torment them, break them on the inside, destroy them emotionally, destroy them mentally, tell them how useless they are, how much you hate them, how much you regret ever having them, how they have brought misfortune into your life because they were born They shouldn't have even come at all. Maybe if they had not come, your relationship would have worked out. No. No child deserves to be tormented that way. Every child is innocent. Learn to love them. Until you learn to love yourself, forgive yourself from the wrong choices you made. You can't love your children. If you are so bitter and unforgiving, you can't love your children. When you sit there, see your children, instead of them to bring you joy, they will bring you pain. Parents, mind how you treat your children. Mind how you relate to your children, because the child that you nurture well today will be the child that will nourish you tomorrow. How you treat your child in the morning time is the way they will treat you in the evening time. Don't be shocked and surprised when you see some children, they say they don't want to have anything to do with their parents. Don't curse these children, because you don't know where they are coming from. You don't know what they have been through in life. You don't know what they have had to put up with all their lives. Some parents are just selfish. Not all parents. Some parents are so selfish that all they think about is themselves. The moment they are not happy, when things does not work out the way they want, every other person must go to hell. They will make sure that every other person suffer the way they are suffering. No. Love your children, even if they are not lovable. They are still your children. The God that gave you these children did not make a mistake. God knows that you can guide these children. He knows you can tutor these children. That is why He allowed them to come to you when they did. It may not be all rosy today. It may be so challenging and difficult to raise these children. But God will give you the strength, because God will not give you anything that is too hard for you to handle. He will give you the wisdom you need. He will give you the strength, the resources you need to see these children through. Because happy children makes happy parents. When you love your children, treat them right. In the evening time, they will remember you. Remember, you can't eat your cake and have it back. What you give is what you get. What you sow is what you will reap. Do not sow bitterness and hatred into the life of your children and expect them to come running to you later in the evening time, to come loving you. Yes, you might torment them today. Tomorrow, and force them, remind them how much you are their responsibility. I carried you in my womb. I bore you in my lungs. I gave back to you. Curse be unto you. If you don't, you can force them to take care of you, but you cannot force them to love you. Love is reciprocate. When you love your children, they will love you back. Love is reciprocal. You have to give love to get love. You have to give respect to your young ones to get respect. You can't be selfish the moment you choose to become a parent. You have to become selfless. Love that child that is not lovable. That is how you put in them the nature you want to see in them. Remember, that child is not a mistake. There is nothing like an accidental child. That child was not born by accident. The purpose may not be revealed today, but the future will tell that there is a reason why this child came into your life, when they did. So learn to forgive yourself. I remain your girl. Love it. Be happy and remain blessed.